What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle. We are doing another viewer submitted run. I have two more after this that I have to get through. I'll probably do them tomorrow and then make videos the following days. We'll see what happens because I have something else I want to do. I want to do a trinket tier list, so I'm going to work on that also this week. The video that we're doing today, this is a run submitted from Dynamaster, who was brave enough to be our second viewer to be judged, so to speak. So I've been giving anyone in Discord that is brave enough to send me a run to dissect, I give them a special role called the Judged. Just some little incentive, just a thanks to differentiate them from the rabble and show that they, in fact, had the courage to be judged by some random dude on the internet who thinks he's above average at Darkest Dungeon. So we're going to be looking at a spoilerific, so spoilers, I'm going to use the actual word, not some kind of pseudonym, or whatever those are called, just in case anyone doesn't speak English as their primary language, but there are spoilers. This is an endgame mission. I think this is lighting the way. I think that's what it is. It's the... I'm not going to say which number. I'm not going to explain how the endgame works, but this is a mission in the endgame. So if you are one of the newer players that have been flooding the Darkest Dungeon videos lately, we love you, especially because this has been like free on Epic and on sale on Steam and all that. So if you're one of those people and you don't want to see the end game yet, you want to experience it for yourself, definitely feel free to peace out. You will not be, well, you'll definitely be missed, but no hard feelings. So I'm going to stop doing this lengthy introduction here. So we're looking at this. I skimmed through it before, and honestly, this looks like Dynamaster here is going to completely stomp this dungeon. But, if you want to see how to efficiently take this down, then this will be probably in your best interest. I do have HD on this time, so I'm not going to make that mistake a second time. And let us get started. There is a comment that Dynamaster left for us, and I will, I'll read it after. It explains things. I've already skimmed over it, but I want to read it together after we've dissected it, because I don't like to have things like influencing my opinion right away. Actually, I can leave this up. I can leave this volume up. I can turn my microphone down. That's how I can do it. So there are some skins, but this is all these are all vanilla classes. So I'm liking the Crusader, Highwayman, and Vestal. So for this mission, you usually want someone with access to guard. I think Man-at-Arms is better, just because he's just more tanky than Houndmaster. If Houndmaster gets hit directly, it still kind of sucks. But you need a guard here, because the hard part of this mission is not the length or the enemies, it's the fact that you have to take 3 of these Talisman of the Flame trinkets on your heroes. So if you have 8 total trinket slots between 4 people, you now have 5. That's actually the hardest part of this. So you don't get to take any other cool thing like bleed resist or, damage and stuff like that. Right there, I probably would have opted for accuracy over anything else on Highwayman. Highwayman's got like solid base accuracy. He has nothing amazing to my knowledge, except I think like Point Blank. I think Point Blank and Dual Savant have like 110 or something. But like Ancestor's Candle is gonna just wreck. It's gonna do really well here. Toy Soldier's pretty good on its own. There's also a case I would probably take something like Fortifying Garlic or Cleansing Crystal. But it really doesn't matter. Like these are both good. Putting our skills in the right order. I appreciate this. I do like to see Crusader getting used, and I think the choice of who gets the third, actually, yeah, who gets the third talisman on the team is probably the hardest, because Highwayman is getting one because he does not want to be guarded, because he wants to repose. So it's like, does Crusader get it, or does Vestal get it? And I think it's hard, because it's like, I guess you do give it to Vestal, because you could not give it to Crusader and he could survive Revelation. I gotta mute this in my mic because Wayne June has tripped me up. Like, it's hard to talk over him. He's just so engrossing. Yeah, this team should do fine. Like, the key besides the the key besides the trinkets are the ability to recover. So having some kind of form of stress healing, and then having solid direct healing is good. So I like the use of Crusader as the stress healer. I think Crusader gets slept on a lot, so I like to see him. Because, I mean, a lot of people would take Jester to this, probably. I took Jester to this, and it was honestly very easy, even on Blood Moon. But that's just because Jester's nuts. And I do appreciate the faster combat and stuff like that. That makes everything easier. Otherwise, this would be like 45 minutes. So Cultist Priest is probably the hardest thing in the first 2 Darkest Dungeons. It's a very tough unit. It's got just some strong moves all around. Cleaves, Stress. The Finger's like the second strongest single target bleed after like Arterial Pinch. Stunning our backliners. Probably could have stunned the front Priest. Probably not the end of the world though. Are going for it with Vestal. I think it would have been better to use Crusader to stun that cult or that Priest because he has a higher stun chance than Vestal, but it's only by 10%, so it's not a big deal. I like the open vein. Like, we could spend our cash and go for oh, that sucks. See, I think that's already the accuracy coming into play here. But, like, we could have spent the cash and got the opening point blank, but, you know, setting up that dot damage earlier is better than setting it up later. Because, you know, just people start taking residual damage and stuff. Keeping those guards off, I like it. I like it a lot. I think we do stun that Priest. Then we can Holy Lance it. Oh, we didn't get it. It's fine. That was like a minimum roll too, and it just... No, I think it was like 1 point over. Yes! The point blanks. It's so satisfying. Like, Highwayman's just a 1-2 punch of Duelist Advance and point blank, and it's so satisfying. Ooh, big crits. Big crits for big stress heals. You don't care about Highwayman's stress, because he's really just going to crit it off himself. Or get kills and get it off. Group heal's more efficient than single target healing if someone else is damaged. Even if it's by like 2 points, it's usually better. Unless you're fishing for like a single target crit or something. Bite yourself on heal. I don't know how that works, but, you know, go off king. These crits. Healing everyone. Vestal gets the zap. Nope. Actually, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like, this fight's over. But usually, if you can find time to get Vestal to zap things, like not in this instance, but just for anyone that's using Vestal, if you're just pressing heal every single turn, like, it's fine. But really when Vestal shines is when she can find turns to stun and zap people. That's when she feels really good. It's like, oh wow, she's actually putting out some like control and damage. It's not just, you know, recovery, which reactionary isn't the best playstyle in Darkest Dungeon. You have to be proactive. Which is why stuns are so good. Dinah listed why they go up first on this mission. I've never considered this actually, and I think they said that going up, this is the easiest fight out of the 3 boss fights. So that's something to think about. I actually never considered it. I just picked whichever way. I thought they're about all equal, but I never dove into the stats hard enough. Is this the one? Yeah, okay. It's the other one that can't be stunned, right? The one in the back, that like piece of an archway. I guess they're all pieces of archways. Accuracy! As far as accuracy goes, I would not take command either. Oh, that one can be stunned too. I thought one of them had like 140. I just got through talking about it in my Game Sins video, which was a lot of fun to do. But like, I've beaten this game a few times, but I am still just not the most familiar with some of these enemies. Like, I know the Cultist Priest pretty well because it's such a threat. And then the Cultist Brawler and the, like, Ascended Witch or whatever her name is. I know them. But, I don't really know the rest of these units. I don't know them as well as the other ones, I should say. Having as much recovery as possible is probably, like, the best way to tackle this too, because if you have control and recovery, it's okay if you only have one really good damage dealer. I think when I beat this the first time, I took a Mark team. I took Arbalest, and it worked, but it was not... It did not feel great. It was, it had some obvious issues, especially with the Cultist being solo healer. Probably could have been a zap. Oh yeah, especially with the 172 stun resist. Dang, why is it so high? Oh, it got bolstered. Wait, does bolster even give it? I don't know. We'll never know. I'd have to like pause the video and look, and it's not that big a deal. Bleed resist through the roof. This is like the one time open vein isn't good. Like every other enemy in here, open vein's gonna do work, but these things, no. So if you really wanted to, if you followed this path, you can actually put on Wicked Slice, and then go in there, and then beat this fight, and then put on open vein again, but I don't think you really need to min-max that hard. Open vein's only like 2 points behind Wicked Slice anyway. And you can still get the debuff, which is like minus speed, so that's actually pretty good. First mini-boss. Man, the first time you do this dungeon, it feels like the pathway is so much longer. It's actually really short once you know what to do. I agree with killing the little dogs first. Usually in this game, yeah, you gotta get that guard up first. That's what sucks. You have to get that guard up like immediately. You can't bolster and stuff. It's like the third time we've missed a riposte. It's not the business. It's fine though. Like Highwayman's still putting out a bunch of damage. Group heal? I like it. Proactive. Yeah, I like the point blank there. Just try and erase that thing with a crit. Oh my god, that's like 3 misses! Do we bolster there? I guess so. It's kind of weird, like when you bolster so, like on turn 2 or turn 4 or something like that, it feels really bad. But it's still okay, because like this little flesh dog is, yeah, gone. So I just deal with this dude. Lag on the recording end. Do not adjust your monitors. My goodness, the on-hit damage of Duelist Advance. Sorry about that, there were barking dogs all of a sudden, so I can't even remember what my train of thought was. I was so distracted, I was like, I gotta mute this. Oh, we're talking about bolster, right? When you don't get to bolster early, it feels so bad. Especially when you have like 2 enemies down, it's almost not worth doing. But then at the same time, this thing has two actions a turn, so having a bolster is still helpful, I think. It's never not bad. It's also like, what else is Man-at-Arms doing? You can actually get this like Rampart into a Holy Lance train going. That's probably where I would start trying to go. Like, I'll probably Rampart if I don't need to guard someone. Just because Holy Lance has the bigger crit modifier. And we're going to assume that we get those stuns reliably, or at least like every other turn or something like that. Oh, I definitely want a Holy Lance right there. I don't think Dismiss is in any danger. It is good to keep your stress low, but it's not the end of the world. Like, the time it would matter is a breakpoint where, you know, if you use that stress heal, and then they get another attack, and they cause more stress, like, did you really save anything? Usually you don't. So trying to end the fight better or faster is usually ideal. Man-at-Arms is a little different because he's guarding and stuff, so his stress ramps up super quick. So I can respect trying to keep him down.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
You only get 2 camping in here? I thought you got 3. I think the next one you get 4. Yeah, always go back the way you came just to avoid extra fights, because I think there's like 1 or 2. There's like one in one of the hallways and another in the room, I think. Oh yeah, I could see why, yeah, I forgot. Like, if you don't know where to go, that's what makes it harder, because that path to the left that Dinah could have took is just, it goes, I don't think it goes nowhere, but I think it's like a super long way back to the next goal that you're supposed to go to with the little finger candles. So going back the way you came is much better. This should last all the way up to the boss. I think there's only like 3 fights, maybe 4. Thankfully, we do not have to prevent nighttime ambush in the Darkest Dungeon. That's one of the few luxuries that it gives you. I think there's that and like no blockages. So you really just get to focus on recovery and like your strongest camp skills, which is really nice. Only 2 cultist priests, and... Oh no, the last one had 2. Just one of the flesh dudes instead of 2 of them. These guys are so funny. Oh, that's big. Did not bleed? Oh, that's so lucky. Yeah, we stunned the one that has an active turn. That's unfortunate, because the crit boosts our stun chance. There's a case to actually say that maybe Crusader should have had a paralyzing crest. It's like, he's stunning just about as much as he's stress healing. Ooh, that's painful. Oh, the guard on Dismas. Oh, because he's low. Yeah. Oh, because he took that crit. Okay, that makes sense. Because right now, man, that riposte would have put in some work. We have to protect our boy, so I understand. Always group heal. Man, you get crits like every roll. What is that? Ooh, went for the damage. I like it. Understanding. Good chance to kill. I always feel like Man-at-Arms just turns them into paste when he crits them with Rampart for like a kill. Just their guts go flying across the room. They're just taken apart at the torso. Yeah, stress comes in quick though. These priests, dude. I respect the decision to not bolster in a hallway fight. Because those are like some small gameplay improvements with Man-at-Arms. Is like understanding when to buff. Because sometimes it's better to just like guard and then Rampart 2 times. Or like Retribution and Rampart or something like that. Instead of bolster and do your whole shenanigans set of skills. It's so funny though, like the Darkest Dungeon missions are designed for you to like get lost. Like that's how they're balanced, where you can get lost a little bit and still be okay. But if you get super lost, then you're probably gonna die. But once you know where to go, they're so short. Like you can get through them pretty quickly and painlessly. Like you probably, it's good to camp just to be safe and all that, but you probably don't even have to camp. Yeah, bolster here. I like that, yeah. Ooh, that's unfortunate. You see here, though, the trinket choice. Like, not even the choice, or the trinkets that Dinah took. I'm just saying, like, the fact that you have to dedicate 3 trinkets to, the talismans. Like, there's so much you can't take. You can't make, like, 3 of your characters as good as they could be. You just have to sacrifice something. And sacrificing accuracy is actually the scariest. It's working out so far. Oh my goodness, that's the second crit. But of course, Crusader, being the absolute Chad that he is. Like, oh, you crit me? Oh, that's only a third of my life. Good job. It's like half of everyone else except 3 characters. It's like 2/3 a Grave Robber and Occultist. This riposte is putting in so much work. That's a good time for a crit. That's a big stress heal. It's kind of awkward because we don't have a lot of backline reach, except for Dismas, and he's in rank 1, so it's like he can't shoot. I would consider stunning. Yeah. Ooh, and got the stun. So Rampart, I'd Rampart here to get the Holy Lance. Nice job. Oh man. I would have took it. You can heal next turn. I would have took that Holy Lance. But then the corpse went away, so maybe it's not. Oh. Wait a minute. We can't point blank. We got open vein. I guess we can't point blank, sure. I don't even know if I would have did that. I would have, I think at this point, Dinah is resigned to, Crusader is just spamming stress heal for the rest of this fight, which I respect. Going for the stun, proactive approach. The fundamentals are there. These crits! What is this? Who is this guy? These crits are everywhere. I forgot to look at the quirk setup. I don't know if we got a chance to. No, we did when they were putting on trinkets, so we're gonna have to go back and look. I want to see how good these characters are. Not that like Reynold's gonna have any like bonus crit healing. That's not a thing, but like if Dismas has natural swing, then sure, I can understand. Okay, so we're moving to stall. We have to attack here. Yeah. We have to like stun with Vestal. Yeah. We take our lowest damage attacks. Get another stress heal. I probably would stress heal Man-at-Arms. Like Dismas is gonna work this off. Like Dismas is most likely getting this kill here. He's probably gonna work off 3 to 6 stress doing it. Very good set of speed roll right there, so Vestal got another chance to stun and didn't have to worry about the stun resist. Just chipping it down. This is a great thing to stall on, because it can heal itself. So even if you spend like one turn stunning it, the next turn it heals, and then you stun it and then it heals, you can always just, like you can heal to full on this. I didn't even think about that, that's so cool. And Dismas just moves, right? If his turn comes up, yeah. Even using the hotkey for number 5. My goodness. Oh no! The crits. Sometimes you're just too strong. That's so crazy to see this map though. Like, you only have to go to 9 rooms. That's almost a short mission. That's a medium, I think. He's opening crits. Look at my brain and get poisoned. I can't remember what has Mark synergy here. My god, these crits. It would have to be the Scorpion, right? Revelation. Did not target Vestal. Still the same results. Did we go first stun? Yeah. Stuns are just too good not to do. Probably could have stunned the dude in the back. The reason is, like, it's gonna get a turn. These crits! My goodness! Hold on, I gotta mute this. Sorry about that. There's a lot of ambient noise right now because I don't usually record it this time. Like, I have a very set or specific schedule that I follow, so whenever I go out of there, it's usually pandemonium. So we are just admiring the crits from these characters because they just keep happening. And probably gonna get a single target heal from Vestal. You know, I like the proactive approach of stunning and stuff like that. But I think that Vestal's stun chance against the mini-boss is just like 32% or something, or it's 42. Might be 32. I don't know, it's pretty low. So it's usually better to just chance it on the heal. It's more consistent, so it's kind of weird, because like we talk about being reactive is bad, so you want to be proactive, but ultimately in Darkest Dungeon you want to be consistent. So I think consistent wins out against all that. And the dodge! Alright, went for that single heal. Good. Oh my goodness. Oh, the guard break! This is scary. Vestal can actually eat a revelation from here. And that was the end of the turn too, so it's gonna have to be 2 turns. Actually, he's stunned too, so the mini-boss is gonna get 3 actions before... maybe not. Maybe not, actually. I was gonna say, the mini-boss is gonna get 3 actions before we zap? Yes. Zap. Do it, please. 20% chance to crit? What is this? Group heal's good, too. It's pretty hard to pass up that group heal. That's like an effective... what was that? That was 28 HP of healing. Man. Okay, we got lucky. We got really lucky. But yeah, the math I was trying to crunch is the mini-boss is going to get 3 turns. And in those 3 turns, it's going to get at least 1 revelation. So Vestal has to dodge 1 of those. And she did. We're looking pretty good. Even though our team got smacked around into the weirdest order. Someday, rank 4 Man-at-Arms will be good. I've tried it. I still think it sucks. He has like a trinket dedicated to sitting in the back and getting healed, but it still just sucks. Mainly because Man-at-Arms doesn't usually die to hit point damage. Like, his guard keeps him alive pretty well. Because the big protection boost. So he dies to stress. He doesn't have any way to mitigate stress. besides like quirks. Healing, just need everything off.
Furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
Hitting the same 3 here. These are all just very good team buffs. If stress was a bigger issue, you could take one of like Crusader's stress healing things like Zealous Speech, but then it's pretty awkward because you have 3 4-point skills, which is great. And then it's like, would you do a 5-point and then like a couple other things? It gets really hard. Usually when you use Zealous Speech, you have to float 1 point, and it just sucks. These crits, man, it has to be, it's weapons practice. I forgot about that. And an unparalleled finesse, yeah. I don't think it affects riposte, but like the actual riposte damage, but it's still really good. That's what's crazy too. Like melee Highwayman is so good that, or like Point Blank is so good on its own that just doing melee Highwayman and using Point Blank is still just fantastic. That's 2 fingers we dodged. Oh man, that's like 3 crits on that though. Alright, finally that bleed stuck. Get rid of that ASAP. If there were different enemies on screen, Vestal could actually go for a zap to heal herself. But the Cultist Priests are just threatening enough. Like, they are just evasive enough where you're not reliably going to hit them. You're always at like 75 to 85% chance, unless you have like a lot of accuracy. So do you really go for it? Because if you miss, that sucks. I probably zap here. We're going to stall out. I do like how fast Dyna's playing. That is very significant of not just confidence, but very familiar with the team and the skills and the strategy and all that. We only got 2 more rooms to go, and then we're out of here. Seems like this might be the easier of the last 2 ways. I think left might be the hardest. I don't know, like 1 Cultist Priest, whereas 2 if we go up, and then I think... Oh man, these dodges. And that crit! Ah! We don't need bolster at this point. We are beyond bolster, unless you're trying to stall. There's actually a case to guard Vestal right there if you really wanted to. Just to keep her hit points up, but it's not the end of the world. Like, this run is going so well. I'm just looking for things in the margins right now, so definitely no indictments of play. Because I think this has been played about as well as it could have been played. Our PC lagging up. And I think the reason for this is the video's in 1080. And as someone who is very familiar with recording and stuff like that, you know, running a game in 1080 is usually doable for a lot of computers and laptops and stuff. Recording while it's running, that is where your computer starts to chug. Because it takes a lot of resources from your PC to record and stuff. We could sell out, we really don't need to. Like, are we gonna heal for like 7 stress across 2 characters? Yeah, just, oh, we're going for it. We're maximizing every advantage. Could have zapped. Didn't even need the crit. Alright, 1 stress heal. Let's finish this. Oh, come on! Come on! Finish! Just end this fight. Please! It's like the biggest flex I've seen. Like, I have 1 stress. No. I'm coming out here with 0 stress. And then the hallway gave us stress right away. Oh yeah, this one's definitely tough. So the pathing is actually something to consider. This is the hardest of the 3 fights, so it's like, do you do it first when your team is healthiest, and then you can recover after, or do you do it at the end, in case you get afflicted and stuff, and you don't have to go through the whole dungeon afflicted? That, I actually don't have an answer to that. I may have done it the same way now that I think about it. Like, do the hardest thing last. Ooh, that's bad. It's like super cripple them. Actually, no, cripple them has that disgusting debuff of like -6 speed or whatever. God, I hate that move. Here we are on the final levels, and I'm complaining about Swineskiver. I don't know if we had to point blank quite yet. I guess it's worth trying to coin flip the crit. But I think like open veins early would have gave us a lot more damage. But also then we can't duelist advance right away. So it's really, do you want to keep up riposte? I think you do actually. I think riposte gives you, especially with these crits, I think riposte gives you more damage than like stacking open vein. Yeah, it's the earliest turn we can bolster, but bolster in this fight is good. Probably time to start chugging holy waters if we really want to. Probably, like, if you get a holy water up on all 3 characters, which there might be, I don't remember, I wasn't paying attention if Dinah clicked them, but having holy water up on everyone, you know, for those 3 turns is going to make this fight a lot easier.
Compassion is a rarity in the fever.
It's like, in those 3 turns, you will kill something. Especially when you're critting like that. That's at least 2 times Revelation has been guarded, so that's fantastic. Crusader not hitting, like, near his max at all this run. Yeah, that's something, I always make that mistake. I always forget to re-up guard, so I always have, like, 1 turn where my guard target just has nothing. It's like, ah.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
The crit's pretty significant. Because it gets rid of the body, even if, like, the movement chance didn't happen. Go for a stun? Yeah. Oh, this fight's over. GG's. I mean, it was over before, but, you know, hitting that stun, this thing's not going to get another. Well, it might get, like, 1 more action. But it's pretty Dunskies. Man, they really want to do stuff to Dismas, and he's like, nah. That unparalleled finesse, whew. Alright, so GG, that was an absolute clinic of efficiency. And I like to see Crusader here in the endgame. So let's... what do we get for quirks? Not spamming clicking on return to town to open everyone at the same time, -5 points. I'm just kidding, by the way. T. That's the end of this, right? Yeah, okay. Actually, is there anything in this? Just looking around in town. Ah! Aha!
But there can
You
be
show me the characters? Okay. So, Manslayer. I don't think anything has human subtype in there. Actually, there might be. Might be like the guard, fleshy, healy dudes. Warrior of Light, good. This might actually be the original Dismas, because I think, not Dismas, Raynal, because I think he starts with Warrior of Light, and we have none of these. For anyone that wants to tackle the endgame, it is nice to not have any negative quirks on there, but it's okay if you go in there with that. And this isn't, same thing, like, that's not an indictment of the player. Like, if you have the money, certainly do it. Actually, we do have the money. So that's pretty cool. But, you know, if you go in there with, like, known cheat, it's not the end of the world. Alright, who else do we have?
your progress is
This looks like the original Dismas too, because he has quick reflexes. Pretty good. Clutch hitter. I think there were a couple times he was under 50. Thick-blooded, I like it. Like, whenever you get something like Thick-blooded or Clodder and you don't have to lock it in, or like if you just get to have it for a while, it's usually really good. So we... looking pretty good here. Like, no bad negative quirks either, which is nice. Oh! I think that's increased healing from Vestal heals, which is awesome, so that just helps him be tanky. I can't remember what gift it is. It might be increased... actually, I can't remember. Natural Eye, that's ranged accuracy. I think Bellow is ranged, so woohoo. Bellow build. Oh man. This is pretty good here. So irrepressible, higher virtue chance, lowered stress by quite a lot. See, no, actually, I was gonna say, you know, Vestal might have been able to go without the talisman, but yeah, it's fine. I think, like, Vestal was doing so much stunning. Maybe she didn't need the Junia's head. I don't know. The extra healing was nice, though. It's hard to say. I think the trinkets were all good, but it's like, where could you have changed anything? Maybe a stun trinket. Actually, I think the CC trinket on Crusader was good, and it was obviously very helpful because, like, those crit heals for 15 stress were, you know, awesome. But I think you could have also got away with, like, a Paralyzer Crest just because, like, his dodge is garbage, and having, like, almost guaranteed stuns is nice. But actually, most of those stuns went through anyway, so it was mostly the dodges that sucked. But it's like, where do you get accuracy when you have to stack those talismans on? So that's the end. Let us read the comment here. Hi, Shuffle. Hey. So I was challenged to create a Darkest Dungeon party or run for viewer submission. One of your favorite missions, Light the Way. Slight spoilers, yeah. The party used in this video is my go-to comp for DD2 in case anyone or anything I'm doing is unclear. Here's right out of my strategy. Crusader, primary stress healer. Yeah. I mean, like, you do... It is nice to have some kind of stress healer in there because there are a couple things that build up stress very, very quickly. And you can camp it off and you can, like, I don't know, go for like a mass crit thing and get stress off that way. But having a dedicated stress healer makes this a lot easier. So I think Jester or Crusader are both good for it. I think Houndmaster is too inconsistent as a stress healer that I would not use him as the stress healer here. I used him as damage when I beat this on Blood Moon, and he did completely fine, but I wouldn't use him as a stress healer. So, yeah, the stress heal from Crusader also has a minor heal, so it picks people off Death's Door, which is good. So all of these were Ancestor Scroll. Yeah, that'd be a good second. But I would add to this maybe Paralyzer Crest, just to land those stuns. Highwayman, DPS, not much to say here. Yeah. So yeah, you could use Wicked Slice. There are like 1 or 2 times it might have been okay, or it might have been better. Did you not have Pistol Shot? Wait, switch Pistol Shot to Tracking Shot. Nah, I mean, it would have been nice. You know, that just makes it really consistent in terms of Highwayman's damage output. Like, you know, you just get more accuracy, which he did need, and you get more damage and more crit. Like, you didn't... How many times was Pistol Shot used? Like, once? If that? Pistol Shot may never have been used. I can't remember. It had to have been less than, like, 2 times. Or, like, 2 times or less. So, let's see. Man-at-Arms. Guard the Vestal. Yeah. So, like, that's the main gimmick here, is you give the 3 talismans to the other characters, and you guard with Man-at-Arms on the person that doesn't have it. So, yeah, it deals a lot of stuff here. So, like, getting hit by Revelation is how you die in those fights. And there are times where you saw, even if you have a guard, sometimes you can get stunned by those crit body slams, and then your guard target's exposed, which is pretty terrifying. So if you're really nervous about it, you can bring like a stun amulet or something, just get your stun resist up a little higher. So I don't think Vestal needs 2 healing trinkets. I don't know, like it's good, obviously, but the only times you really needed the extra healing output is on the cleave attacks and when there were crits, like the finger crits. Those are the times where it's like, okay, it's nice to have the extra healing, but I think Vestal could have got away with having like the talisman, and then Reynold could have had the like an accuracy thing or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's see. Man-at-Arms brings another stun. Yeah. Man-at-Arms does a lot of work in there. So Toy Soldier, this is what I was saying. This could have switched, but let's see. Barristan's Head, Heavy Boots are suitable replacements. I actually wouldn't stack more prod on there because, like, there are a few things that do high direct damage, like the finger, some of the scorpion attacks, but I think the things that are going to do more damage to Man-at-Arms, especially when he's guarding, because he's going to get up to, like, you know, 30, 40 prot, depending on, like, your quirks and stuff, or if you have something else, it might go a little higher. But, like, the things that are going to get through on him, like, there's bleed and blight from multiple sources in there, so having some way to not die to that, or, like, take those hits, so having Fortifying Garlic, Cleansing Crystal, something like that, I think is a very worthy alternative, because I think like, if you get hit with like one bleed, it doesn't matter how much prot you have, because that's just, 18 damage at that point. So having something like having resist and stuff like that are a little more important. But also, we didn't really get hit with bleeds and blights on the mana arms. It might have been like 2 times. I don't know. I don't remember it happening too often. Vestal, dedicated healing. It's really the group heals, I think. So, yeah, she can help stun, which is good. And their healings are, just great outputs. Having used both Vestal and Occultist for this mission, I prefer Vestal. Yeah, I mean, Vestal is just so much more consistent. And to piggyback off that idea, I have used Occultist for this mission as well. The first time I beat the game, I never took Vestal to any of the final missions. I actually beat it with 4 Occultists as healer. And it got really scary in this mission specifically. Because it was my first time, so it was blind playthrough and all that. But the inconsistency of the Occultist healing, one of those finger crits doing 21 damage and a bleed, that's like 27 damage to the character on their turn. And then if Occultist rolls a 4, you're in mega trouble. So having Vestal does make life a lot easier. Salacious Diary is her best healing trinket because it has no downside. It's definitely better than Junia's head. So Junia's could be a lot of other things. Like, it could be a talisman. It could be Chirurgeons. It could be, even right here, Chirurgeon's Charm, Sacred Scrolls. So there's a lot of options there. I don't think you need Dazzling Charm, or like you could use a defensive trinket like Overture Box, Aria Box, those things. So there's a lot of options here. Provisions, I would say, a little bit of everything. If you need food to feast, which is good. Holy waters are nice. There aren't too many debuffs, I think. So having just like 2 stacks of anti-venom and bandages, that's gonna be plenty. Let's see. Okay, this is what I wanted to look at. So, tackle the top path first, since that Templar fight is the easiest to do without camp buffs. I think it is the easier one, right? Like, I can't remember if it's like the not acidy tipped Scorpion Tail, or if it is the one that has the acid tip. I can't remember which one's easier. I don't know, I get them confused. But, it didn't have the double Templars, so that's really nice. Let's see. Yeah, double Templar fight is the most difficult. So, yeah, like, I would say you either do the double Templar fight first or last. Because if you do it first, your team's healthiest, and then you can, like, hopefully have enough recovery after that, and you're fine. Especially with some of those fights where you can stall on the helper flesh guys that guard. Otherwise, you do it at the end. So it's either one of those. Like, both have merits. Yeah, you don't need to camp for the first fight, or the first boss fight. Definitely camp before the second one. So I like this camp order. And then, let's see. I think this covers everything. All right. Thanks for your submission. Pretty awesome stuff. I think, let's see. I will work on the next one probably tomorrow. It's kind of late right now, so I will, I'll work on this, I'll get this up today or tomorrow. Not today. I mean, like, tomorrow or the day after, and then I'll be working on the other one too. So I appreciate everyone who's been enjoying this and tuning in. So if you want to, see more of these, then send me more of your stuff and get super cool shout outs. Like, whoa, look at Dynamaster showing us their stuff here. You too could be a video. Just have some way to get it to me. I prefer that you're in Discord and like message me or something like that. But otherwise, yeah, I guess that's it for now. So I hope y'all enjoyed. You can send me your runs of cool teams, you flexing, looking cool, stomping hard content. That's always fine. Do not send me a 7-hour playthrough of Endless Harvest. I'm not doing that. Please don't do it to me. Or, if you're looking for help, that's also good. Or if you want to show like interesting teams, like check out this like triple Plague Doctor setup. Like, whoa. All right. That'd be cool too. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get some water. And I'm going to start editing this. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you later.